Opening scene, a still lake before dawn. Mist curls above the water. A woman's silhouette walks away into the fog. Slow, low strings play. Narration begins. Some women don't explain their silence. They don't ask to be understood. They simply withdraw. Not in anger, but in knowing. And in that space, between her presence and her absence, a man feels something ancient awaken in his chest. A pull. A haunting. An ache without a name. Because there is something in the feminine detachment. Especially when it is sovereign, still, and unapologetic. That stirs the very shadow of the masculine. He thought he had her figured out. The way she smiled without offering too much. The way she listened, as though she already knew. She didn't chase. She didn't beg. She let him reveal himself, not with words, but with pauses, projections, and avoidance. In her calm, he felt both exposed and unseen. She didn't react the way others had. She didn't soothe his outbursts or chase after his withdrawal. She simply was. And that terrified him. Because in her steadiness, he encountered something unfamiliar. Himself. Jung spoke of the anima. The feminine image buried in the heart of every man. An unconscious blueprint of desire, beauty, tenderness. But also chaos, mystery, and power. And when he met her, the woman who embodied the dark feminine, he didn't know whether to worship her or run from her. Because she mirrored not just what he wanted, but everything he had rejected within himself. Her silence was not absence. It was presence, sharpened. Her detachment was not coldness. It was containment, power in rest. She knew when to lean in. And exactly when to vanish into herself. He pulled away, thinking it would make her want him more. But she didn't follow. She pulled deeper inward, into her own world, where his validation held no weight. She detached. Not to manipulate, but to preserve. Because unlike him, she had walked through her own shadows. She had held her broken parts in silence. She had learned that being needed is not the same as being loved. And so, when he disappeared, she didn't shatter. She exhaled. That's when it started. The obsession. The remembering. The late-night scrolls through her old photos. The dreams he couldn't explain. The way her absence burned hotter than her touch ever did. He couldn't name it. But he felt it. Her detachment, circling him like a storm he couldn't enter. And still, she said nothing. Because she knew. What is truly magnetic never chases. It draws, through gravity, not grasping. Through silence, not performance. Through self-possession, not pursuit. He now begins to see her everywhere. In songs that echo through the car window. In the stillness of night when no one texts back. In the softness of other women who feel too easy now. And he wonders. Was she real? Or just a lesson? But she never answers. Because she's no longer watching. She has turned inward. Toward her own light. Her own healing. Her own becoming. What he called detachment was really individuation. A woman separating from the projections placed upon her. Refusing to shrink for a man. Still learning how to see. And you. Yes, you. The woman listening now. Your stillness is not a flaw. Your distance is not a game. Your detachment is not emptiness. It is clarity. In a world that feeds off feminine neediness. You, in your self-anchored silence. Are revolution. Because the dark feminine does not chase. She does not cling. She remembers. She remembers the ache of overgiving. The cost of chasing crumbs. The weight of proving her worth. She remembers. And that memory becomes power. Becomes grace. Becomes detachment, the kind that makes a man obsess. Not because she played him, but because she left him facing the mirror. Alone. Closing scene, the same still lake, now at sunrise. She's gone. Only ripples remain. Because the woman who walks away without a sound doesn't need to be heard to be felt. Her detachment isn't absence. It is echo. And to the man still chasing his ego, she has already become myth. Fade to black. End.